Have you ever been in a situation where you felt completely overwhelmed by a person's words or a stressful event, only to witness someone else navigate the very same chaos with a seemingly unshakable calm? They seem untouched, as if nothing could genuinely bother them. The world might be shaking around them, but their inner state remains still. We often admire this quality, and sometimes we even try to imitate it by simply faking it. But what if this ability isn't a superficial act or a mask, but a powerful psychological state rooted in a profound understanding of the self? Today, we're going to dive into this intriguing question, exploring the deep psychological roots of this power, guided by the wisdom of the renowned psychiatrist, Carl Jung. His work on the psyche, the shadow, and the process of individuation provides a fascinating framework for understanding how we can cultivate an inner fortress of calm. This isn't about becoming a robot or suppressing your emotions. It's about a fundamental shift in your relationship with yourself and the world, making you less reactive and infinitely more powerful. Jung would argue that the power of acting unaffected doesn't come from denying reality or pretending problems don't exist. That's a fragile facade, a desperate persona that is exhausting to maintain and will eventually crumble under pressure. Instead, true emotional resilience, the kind that allows you to remain composed in the face of adversity, comes from a place of psychological integration. At the core of this integration is the confrontation with and acceptance of your shadow self. The shadow, in Jungian psychology, is the unconscious part of our personality that we tend to repress or deny. It holds our weaknesses, our insecurities, our fears, and our unresolved traumas. When your shadow remains unexamined and unintegrated, its contents can easily be triggered by external events. A seemingly minor comment from a colleague or a partner can feel like a devastating attack because it strikes a nerve connected to an unacknowledged and vulnerable part of your psyche. Your disproportionate anger, your defensiveness, or your sudden emotional outbursts are often not about the external event itself, but a powerful and chaotic reaction from the unmastered aspects of your shadow. So, the first step to truly being unshakable isn't to pretend you're not bothered, but to bravely and honestly understand what can bother you. This is the often uncomfortable process of introspection. It's the heroic journey of looking inward to identify your triggers, your insecurities, and your vulnerabilities. By shining the light of consciousness on these parts of yourself, you begin to take their power away. When someone says something that might have once sent you into a spiral of defensiveness, you can now recognize that a part of you is being triggered. This conscious awareness creates a critical distance between the stimulus and your reaction. It's not cold attachment, but a wise, conscious space that allows you to choose your response instead of being a slave to a knee-jerk reaction. Jung's concept of the self is also crucial here. The self represents the totality of your psyche, the ultimate unifying center that brings together both the conscious and unconscious parts of your personality. As you progress on your journey of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming a whole and integrated person, you develop a stronger connection to yourself. This connection provides a deep sense of stability and inner authority. Think of the self as a lighthouse in a storm. The waves of life, the criticism, the challenges, the chaos are still there, but your core, your lighthouse, remains unmoved. When you are grounded in yourself, your sense of worth isn't dependent on external validation, praise, or the opinions of others. You know who you are. Therefore, external criticism, or challenges don't threaten your core identity. They are simply events happening outside of you, not reflections of your true value. This is the source of that quiet, powerful confidence that seems unshakable. The person who can act as if nothing affects them isn't without emotion. They are the master of their emotions. They have done the hard work of confronting their inner demons and integrating them into a more complete psyche. They feel anger, but they don't let it consume them. They experience disappointment, but they don't let it define them. They are able to process their emotions, understanding where they come from, instead of simply suppressing them. Suppression is a short-term fix that leads to a future eruption. Processing is a long-term solution that leads to lasting peace. It's the difference between a pressure cooker with a faulty lid and a finely tuned machine that vents steam appropriately. This inner work also fundamentally changes your relationship with the world. Jung believed in the concept of projection, where we project our own unintegrated psychological content onto others. If you haven't dealt with your own anger or judgment, you'll likely see it everywhere you look, constantly feeling attacked or misunderstood. The power of acting unaffected is a natural byproduct of no longer projecting your inner chaos onto the world. By cleaning up your own psychological house, you stop seeing external events as personal attacks. Instead, you can view them more objectively. A difficult coworker isn't a personal enemy. They are a person struggling with their own issues. A frustrating situation isn't a personal injustice. It's a circumstance that requires a calm and rational response. This profound state of being is not about being a cold, unfeeling robot. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about being a conscious and integrated human being who can respond to life with wisdom and compassion, not with automatic, ego-driven reactions. The person who is truly unaffected is often the most compassionate because they are not distracted by their own inner turmoil. They have the psychological space to be present, to listen, and to respond constructively. They can meet anger with calm and chaos with stability. This is the essence of true inner power. So, while the world might admire the person who seems to be faking it, the true power lies in those who have done the inner work. They aren't faking a powerful demeanor. They are living from a place of genuine psychological mastery. It's a journey, not a destination. But every step you take towards self-awareness and integration brings you closer to that profound, unshakable power that so many people admire. It's the power of knowing yourself, and through that knowledge, becoming truly unafraid and unaffected by the trivialities that once held you captive. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the depths of Jungian psychology. I hope this gives you a new perspective on what it means to be truly strong.